What is going on, everyone? It is Average THC Guy, and today there's something I have to confess. Something happened in my personal life that has caused me to not be able to smoke for the next 7 weeks. Now, I know this is me we're talking about. THC Guy, completely sober, and I will make a video very soon, sparing no detail, telling why I am in this situation that I'm in. But all I can do right now is count the days until I can start again and watch videos about smoking weed and making videos about smoking weed because I really, really miss it. And so, yeah, I'm the longest I've gone without smoking since I started smoking was 3 weeks. Now, by the time I come back, I will have been sober for 9 weeks. Almost triple that. My cannabinoid receptors will be like that episode of The Twilight Zone where the bomb goes off and there's only that one guy left in the library. Like, that's what it's gonna fucking be. And so I can't wait until I get back to that mind-blowing high. And I fully intend on taking a 1 gram rip my first time back. And honestly, I kind of want to do some like streams and stuff for you guys, like smoking on stream on Twitch like Cupins does. But for now, I'm just gonna make videos about the different things I want to talk about. And about my stories, what I try to do is if it's around the time of year that the story takes place, then I try to like time it to where it kind of coincides. So if this story takes place in October, I'll tell it in October. But I could find no such story after the one I told until Halloween. So now I'm just going to be doing some random videos telling some stories that I don't even really remember the dates for, and just trying to produce more content for you fine people. And so today's story, or today is actually not a story, but rather a list. Now, what is that list? This is the official average THC guys dream blunt rotation. So, what are the rules of this dream blunt rotation? So, what I do is whenever I ask this question to other people, I usually have a set of guidelines. It can be any person, real or fictional, and dead or alive, and the, I get up to 9 spaces with one space where I can include 3 people who fit the same category. Now, I know that's confusing, but it'll make sense soon. So, in this video, I'm going to jump in. If I had my pick, if God Himself came down and said, you can pick, you have these rules that you can smoke with anybody you want, and just bestowed me this opportunity, who would I pick? And so, there is nothing else to do but just get into it. So, who is going to be my first choice? Well, I'm going to do the group of three first. And the group of three might surprise you, but I'm going to do serial killers. I'm going to do Dexter Morgan, Joe Goldberg, and Patrick Bateman. Now, I think that if these three smoke some of that sticky icky, it would make them kind of calm down a little. Make them not as murderous. And that's why I trust them to be around in my sesh. So, Dexter has even said in his series that he is curious to try that sticky icky. And so I would want him to have the opportunity. Now, Joe Goldberg has done acid and he put the fuck out. So I think instead he's also like fucking hallucinated on absinthe. So I think this guy just needs to take a literal chill pill, take a couple tokes off the blunt. And as for Patrick Bateman, I think that Mr. Bateman, he's around people who do cocaine. He's not foreign to the world of drugs. And I think just, a couple hits off the joint, will make him sort of calm down, maybe not be as aggressive, and, maybe might, do some good in his life. And so, next up, to keep this from being a total sausage fest, I will put in one woman, and that is Laurie Strode. Now, we know from the movie that she does smoke. And so, what I want to do is, I really just want to talk to her about her experiences with Michael Myers. I want to get in depth on this, and I think that the serial killer group will be interested to hear her experiences. And so, knowing Patrick Bateman or Joe Goldberg, they'd probably just try to kill her. But I think because of the bud, they're gonna actually calm down. And I think that she would be a very cool person to have at the sesh. I mean, she's smart, she's worldly, she has a lot of experience with danger, and I think that she would have a lot of great stories to tell. Now, next up is going to be Harvey Specter. Yes, Harvey Specter, the man. We already know from the show that he does smoke, and he does it fairly regularly. As we see in the season 2 episode, he even goes to the same dealer as Mike. He reveals that much. It's a little confusing because he was so adamant about getting Mike off weed, so that's a little weird, but I still think that he would be a great addition to smoke with because I want to get inside that man's mind. I want to just see how he comes to the conclusions he does, because this man was high when he figured out how to take down Daniel Hardman. I mean, I want to know what this man can do under the influence of that, good. And so I think that it would be an excellent opportunity to get inside the mind of someone who is really smart, really talented, and see how he gels with the other characters. See if he'd want to defend people like Joe Goldberg or Harvey Specter. Or not Joe Goldberg or Dexter Morgan. I'm fucking sorry. I'm not even high, so I don't get to make these mistakes. Usually during these videos, I'm like puffing a joint or hitting a bong, but I've been sober almost 2 weeks now, so I'm still just I'm keeping on trucking. And so the next person that we're going to bring into the ring is Bob Belcher from the TV show Bob's Burgers. Now, why would I just want to bring him in? He's a middle-aged dad. Well, because I have seen this man high. He got high in an episode, and he was fucking hilarious. I laughed my ass off because that's probably one of the most. That episode is probably one of the most realistic depictions of three people who get high in a room that I've seen. And take it from me, a seasoned vet. So I really want to see how he gels with the rest of the people in this rotation. I want to see, what his reactions are to everything, and I want to see what, what kind of great we can get in by having this man in our rotation. All right, next one is Keanu Reeves. I would love to have Keanu Reeves in a blunt rotation. He's so chill. He would be like a weed shaman. He would compliment everybody. He would bestow us with the secrets of the universe while high. He, and I think he's one to respect the plant. He's one to not abuse it. He's one to understand its powers and how to use it. He is a very worldly person, and he can also talk about all the movies he's been in, all the people he's met, all the stories he could tell, and it could make for a genuinely great smoke sesh. And I think that, giving him a chance to be in a room with all the, you know, eccentric people would kind of cause some really funny shit to happen. Next up, I have to pick at least one weed tuber for this rotation because, it would be incomplete without it. I try to have at least, certain categories of person met, so like one real person. When I've had a lot of fictional people because I love movies and TV. One artist, whatever. I won't spoil the rest, but let's talk about Goblin. Well, we already know this man Goblin smokes like a chimney. He could smoke all of us out. He would even bring the shit. He would come up with a pack of only gas, and he would even roll the blunt for us. Not only that, but I've seen a lot of his videos, but it would be so cool to see the story or to hear the stories that he hasn't told. And he's been great on different podcasts. Pine Park, he has his own now called the Gobcast, which is fucking phenomenal. I was highly recommend you go check out all of his content. And so, yeah, who would be my runners up for weed tubers to have at the sesh? I would say Dopas Yola, X Code, Liger 420, who is criminally underrated, and who else? I don't know if I'd want Drew sharing there. I definitely want Cupins. Cupins is great. But any of them, I would take any of them being at the sesh. Next up for my artist section, or not so much artist, but is Quentin Tarantino. I think he is an artist. I think he is phenomenal at his job. One thing is he is known to get high. He has even done interviews about it. And the man makes great movies, even when he's high, or when he comes up with great ideas when he's high. And so I think that he would make for a good smoke sesh uh, person because he could tell us all of the ideas he has, all of the different things he could show us, tell us. He has worked with Uma Thurman, John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis. Harvey Keitel. He has worked with so many phenomenal people, and I think that hearing his experiences with those people, and one thing I like, one thing I like about people that I like to get high with is I like people who have a lot of cool experiences, cool stories, just people who have something to say in general. I don't like a quiet smoke sesh. Like I like, the chatter, the talking, even if it's just about random bullshit. I just love bullshitting and passing around a joint. And I think both Goblin and Quentin Tarantino would be great candidates for that because they could tell us about all their experiences. And not so much with the other characters because their experiences is all with like murder and death, but except for maybe Harvey Specter, but still his experiences are not as I guess not as centered around grim things. So who is the next candidate for my smoke sesh? That would have to go to Snoop Dogg. We already know this man smokes blunts all day, every day. And he even tried to prank the world by saying that he was going to stop smoking. Then it was some sort of ad for a fire pit or something like that. And I think that he would be a great addition to the smoke sesh just because also he could talk about the different experiences he's had, the different people he's met, the different places he's been. And he could even lay down some sick freestyle. And one thing I love to do when I'm high is just lay down some freestyle with some buzz. And I think that would be exceptional if we had Snoop Dogg. And the last one to end this beautiful collection of people to get high with would be Bill Hader. Now, he has said that he has gotten high in his life several times, and he is a really, really funny person with a lot of great ideas. And I would love to hear some of his ideas, some of his stories, some of his experiences as someone who really is a fan of Barry and him as I think learning more about what was going on inside his head and how he develops the things he does. For all of these people, it's just as much as, smoking with them and having a good time. I want to get inside their head. I want to see what makes them tick. And I think that, just passing a joint around, bullshitting, is the best way to do that. It's the best way to learn about a person. Because, stoned words are sober thoughts. And because you don't like to hold anything back when you're stoned. And so I think it, that he would be a great addition. I think all of these are great additions. So to run back down the list, it's going to be Patrick Bateman, Dexter Morgan, Bill Goldberg, Laurie Strode, Harvey Specter. Let me pull up the list here. They kind of get jumbled in my head. Bob Belcher, Keanu Reeves, Goblin, with some very honorable runner-ups. Quentin Tarantino, Snoop Dogg, and Bill Hader. That is the official average THC guy dream blunt rotation.
Bright color. It's a
Thank you and
fantastic
have a good day.
It's a good day to be alive. Come to think of it, every day's a good day to be alive.